Have you ever had a bad experience? One that you wished you could forget altogether? If there's one thing that is certain, it is that we'll all go through one or more bad experiences during our lifetime. So if it's certain that we'll all go through bad experiences, I think it's important that we learn how to navigate these experiences so they don't hold us captive and make us prisoners of our past. In today's video, we'll be learning how we can navigate these experiences and make the best of whatever experience comes our way so that they don't stop us from living our passions and our ultimate purpose. So stay tuned guys, because you're definitely going to learn something life transforming in today's video. Welcome to the Passion and Purpose Hub. My name is Tunde Kukoyi, and this is a channel where we share useful knowledge to help you maximize your passion and your purpose so you can enjoy success and fulfillment in your lives. Now, what do you refer to as a bad experience? Different people refer to different things when thinking about a bad experience. For some, it might be the loss of a loved one, or the loss of a job, an illness, a divorce, an embarrassing situation, emotional hurt or abuse. But whatever the experience is, the common theme is that we either feel a sense of loss or a sense of pain. Now, while some people are able to move on quickly from bad experiences, many people dwell there for a long time, and it starts to affect their productivity. You sometimes hear people say, "Don't you know what happened to me?" What they want to do is to host a pity party, and this in no way serves them. While I'm not trying to downplay what anyone has gone through or is currently going through, what I'm trying to advocate for today is that we need to develop the habit of learning from these experiences and moving on forward with our lives. Another important question that you might want to ask is, why do we have to go through bad experiences? And the honest answer is, I do not know. We all want life to be a smooth sail, but in reality, it isn't. It's filled with ups and downs, high points and low valley moments, successes and failures, joys and pain. Maybe that's just how life is designed to be. And although I don't know the reason why we go through these experiences, what I know is this: everything happens for a reason. Sometimes I believe that these bad experiences happen to prompt us to start making changes in our lives or to see things from a different perspective. I love the analogy a medical colleague of mine once used. They said, when we experience pain in our bodies, it is usually a sign that there's something wrong and that we need to be doing something about it. And it's kind of similar with bad or painful experiences that we go through. What if we saw these experiences as wake-up calls for us to shift to a higher level of thinking in our lives? If we made that change, that simple shift in thinking, it will make us start looking for the good and the gold in these experiences. So what I want to share with us today are 4 helpful tips that can not only help us move on forward, but rise to a higher level of thinking and living as a result of these experiences. The very first tool is to feel the pain. I believe a major key in going through bad experiences is in actually acknowledging the experience and feeling the pain. Psychologists tell us that there are different stages of grief. There is denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. They say that almost everyone has to go through these phases, but the way we go through these phases is different for each individual. But what I've found is that many people are still stuck in the denial phase. They deny the pain. They try to run away from the pain. They build walls. They hide their faces in the sand, pretending like it never happened. What some other people do is they try to numb the pain, either through addictions, unhealthy eating habits, medications, because this is how society has taught us to deal with painful experiences. But all of this never really solve the problem. What they do is they repress the feeling, and trust me, it will always come back someday. So I believe that for us to be able to move on forward from painful experiences, we need to actually acknowledge the experience, feel the pain, digest the pain, and draw all the lessons that we can draw from the pain, and then move on forward from there. The second helpful tool is to seek help. It will be a complete lie to tell you that we'll be able to go through all of our bad or painful experiences alone. There's sometimes when you try to understand the experiences you have gone or you're going through and they don't seem to make any sense to you. That is when you need to seek help. Sometimes we need to talk about our feelings because when we do, they become less overwhelming or less scary. And when you're looking for help, don't just go to anyone because that person might not be able to help you. I advise you look for someone who's gone through a similar situation as you and has come out successful on the other side. As they say, there is nothing new under the sun. There will always be someone who has gone through a similar situation to yours and has come out successful on the other side of the story. If you also feel that your mental health has been affected, then seek professional help. Don't suffer in silence. Another thing that you might find helpful is to read the autobiographies of people who have overcome similar obstacles as yours and draw strength from their courage and from their success stories. The third tool is to take responsibility. I find this very important because many times in bad experiences, it's easy to see everyone's involvement but our own in the scenario. It's easy to blame our parents, the society, our bosses, bad luck, but we never really see our own involvement in the scenario. If you keep devolving responsibility to other people, what happens is that you never really give yourself the power to make a change. And although you might not be responsible for what has happened to you, you are completely responsible for how you respond to it. I feel I need to say that again. Although you might not be responsible for what has happened to you, you are completely responsible for how you respond to it. It is a powerful thing when you're able to take responsibility because it feels like you've kind of put yourself in the captain's seat and then you can navigate your way out of the challenge rather than waiting for life or whoever's wronged you before you can get out of the rut. So friends, I believe that it's very important to learn to take responsibility. The final tool is in learning to leverage on your experiences. When people are talking about their painful or negative experiences, they are quick to say, "Don't you know what I've been through?" And my gut response is, "Tell me what you've been through." The irony of the situation is that the more unique or the more messy your situation might seem, then the more powerful the lessons and the messages that you can draw from them. And also the more powerful the extent to which you can leverage on these experiences. What people need to know is that the more difficult the challenge, then the sweeter the victory. There is always some good in every negative or painful experience if we learn and we choose to look for the good in them. In fact, most of the people that we call successful today are people that have gone through painful or negative experiences, but have learned from them and have decided to use them as springboards or stepping stones towards their success. An example of someone who has gone through negative experiences and has become even more extraordinary because of them is Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is known as one of the most successful women in the world. In fact, she's been named several times by CNN and Time magazine as the most powerful woman in the world. But her life has not always been a bed of roses. She's had her own fair share of negative experiences. She was born to a teenage mother and endured hardship and poverty as a child. She was repeatedly abused emotionally and sexually by her uncle, her cousin, and her family friend. She became pregnant at the age of 14 and lost her baby shortly after birth. She was repeatedly bullied at work and was fired from her job. Now, people, you agree with me that all these experiences, even one of them, is a good enough reason for anyone to wallow in self-pity and justify his or her lack of success in life. But Oprah did not let these experiences drown her. Instead, she moved on forward and became better because of them. How did she do this? She openly talked about her experiences and her losses in childhood after repressing them for many years. She also sought help from her school teachers, but particularly from her mentor, Maya Angelou, who had gone through similar situations to Oprah in her early life. Oprah recounts how she was blessed to have Maya as a mother, a sister, and a friend, and how she guided her through the most important years of her life. Oprah also understood the importance of personal responsibility. She took personal responsibility for her life instead of blaming the society, agenda, her color, or the people that abused her. In fact, I once heard her say that for anything to move forward in your life, you have to take personal responsibility to make that happen. Most importantly, Oprah continues to use her experiences as a springboard for her success. Whether it's in the way that she connects with people through her talk shows or how she helps underprivileged girls, you can tell that her personal experiences shine through the work that she does. Oprah once said, "Turn your wounds into wisdom." And this is something that I believe that she has done remarkably well, and that's why she's our example today. As I round off today, I want us to remember that none of us will be exempted from bad experiences, but learning to navigate them could be the absolute game changer in our lives. Instead of running from the pain, feel the pain, seek help, take personal responsibility for your responses, and leverage on these experiences. The takeaway message for all of us is that bad experiences make some people bitter, while it makes others better. I want you to choose to become better, regardless of whatever experience comes your way. If this video has helped you, please pay it forward by sharing with someone who you think needs to hear this. And also, remember to subscribe if you've not done so already, and turn on the notification button. Till we meet again, dear friends, keep living with passion.